the reason why you want to be tough because of the competition that you think you got to have.
Yeah.
As far as either one having the most money, doing all this other stuff, trying to stunt in front of your boys or in front of people, or trying to get females all the time, because that's what is glorified in our community, is having the baddest female.
Yes.
I had to check myself, baddest female. So, yeah, everything that you said was accurate. It's just now we're in a point to where can it be fixed, or can it be fixed, and is it necessary all the time for you to act that way? Or is this just in your mind that you got to live this way to get some kind of false affirmation or respect from other people who ain't never going to respect you in the first place?
It's okay. I'm glad you said that. And it's going to start with us. It's going to start with us, like, making sure that, I feel like I'm so far over here. It's going to start with us getting an understanding of what's supposed to be happening with us at the age that we currently are. Whether you're 32, whether you're 23, whether you're 13, whether you're 6, it has to be clear what it is, the purpose of what it is that we're doing. And that's on our parents. That's definitely on our fathers. You have to tell me what it is I have to do as a young black boy. I'm not a black man yet. I'm not a black man. I'm a black boy at the time if I'm 6 or 13. But it has to be clear what it is I need to be doing and what it means to be tough. Now, Father, why are you tough? Why would you consider yourself a tough guy? Is it because you've beat up a lot of dudes? Is it because the neighborhood is scared of you? Is it because you was able to, beat 4 indictments of stuff that you may or may not have done that was illegal? You know what I'm saying? Or is it because you were able to deal with adversity?
Right.
And then on top of that, you were able to come through and show everyone around you how to be able to continue to live life and not dwell on something that was old. Now that's tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Did you deal with a financial loss or a financial shortage, where the kids may not have felt it, but y'all were having sandwiches for dinner, you know what I'm saying, for a while because I didn't have the money to actually bring into the house. I got laid off. However, what I did, I kept grinding. I took myself to trade school with a little bit of my savings.
Right.
And I was able to go get a job
Right.
at, a aircraft company. And now y'all never know the difference.
That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about.
That's a real tough guy.
Even though that you don't get that exposure as a young kid.
Yeah.
When you get older, you got to go through those things. And that's why you're not choosing to be a product of your environment because of what you just said.
Yes.
Flip side is, it's hard if you rely just on the father, if the father is not around or passed away or anything like that. So how do you portray, or no, how do you become tough? Because it's not hard for women to raise boys into men.
Okay.
It's not hard for that. It's hard for when the boys need the guidance and women know that they need that guidance, but there's no black man to depend on for that guidance because they don't want either him to end up like his real dad or what he ends up being, or, gone on the wrong path. So it's a slippery slope, especially nowadays, because I hear what you're saying about having a father. If you're an active father in a child's life, stick with it, continue to do the thing. But for a lot of black men out here, they don't grow up with a father or a father figure.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tougher for them. But same thing ends up happening. You may not have a father, but you got a mother who you can look to who was tough and was holding it down for y'all.
Yeah.
You didn't get talked to like a man. You might have got raised a little different. So you might have some tendencies that are more feminine like.
Right.
Not saying that you are a feminine man.
Right.
But you might know how to wash dishes. You might know how to cook. You might know how to iron your clothes.
You throwing the women
might
back
do
in the
that.
kitchen, bro? You throwing them back in the kitchen right now? Or are you just...
No, I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
What most women do.
Like
they tend to the house because that's what most of them were raised to do and raised. But being the tough man, they can't teach that. So the only thing they can do is survival of what they only know. But then when you become a man, then you have to learn on your own. All right, I got to grind and do everything. But you got a little guidance. You just don't have the male guidance that you should have had. And so that becomes tough too, because I got a lot of homies that say, well, you know, my daddy went around, my dad was killed and all this other stuff, but they come out just fine. Now, do they be starchy archy and they just, you know, instead of wearing, you know, Irish Spring, they might wear Dove? I mean, it is what it is, you know. It is what it is, but...
First off, there's nothing wrong with
ain't nothing wrong with it, but that's what I'm saying.
Not wearing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, like...
There ain't nothing wrong.
I know men who wear secret deodorant and Degree and stuff like that.
It's like when you try to smell better than another dude.
Yeah.
A man who's usually raised around a woman likes cleaner scents.
Yes.
Fresh, cleaner scents.
Yeah.
Still smell fire, but one that's raised around a man.
Or a little powdery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Or you get around a man who's primarily raised around men, he gonna have that musk smell, that woodsy smell, you know, that dark, deep smell.
Yeah.
That should be the only difference, though. You can't judge nobody just because they have a different upbringing, but you can also judge yourself thinking that you got to be tough as a black man to make it in this society, because you don't.
No, you don't. One of the biggest things, and since that stopped, I don't think it got anything we said earlier. Man. I know, man. I'm a little upset about that. But regardless, you know, just to kind of touch on just a recap, a lot of that, you know, previous, it's not okay for us to walk around and be the tough guy and present this tough guy because of aggression and because of anger and because of muscle and because of this is how you got to be hard and because of you got to make everyone else afraid of you, which is actually the result of you actually fearing something. No. What are you enduring? Endurance. That is where the toughness comes from. Now, hey, black man, why are you angry? We're angry because, and I'm going to say why we would even be angry. We're angry because of the lack of opportunities that we were presented previously. And now that it's spilt over generation to generation to generation, the mindset of the lack of options or the opportunities that we've had, we are now programmed to be angry or programmed to look angry or look hard. Now, as you shared before, there's people, our compassion gets confused with anger, right? Right. I absolutely 100% agree. I'm passionate about something. So if I'm going to respond in a way that's like, yo, hey, listen, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to go. Either y'all going to help me or y'all can leave. You're going to think I'm angry. No, I'm so passionate about this. I'm not upset at y'all for leaving and allowing me to just do it to make sure it's done. I'm upset at you guys not being as passionate about this, whatever it is that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man.
I'll tell you the other reason why black men are angry. A lot of black men have kids at early ages and try to become the best fathers that they can be, but they're not necessarily with their child's mom. And a lot of times we are single black fathers, or we get dubbed as deadbeat baby daddies that still try to take care of our kids day in and day out. Yeah. But the hatred from the kids' moms, because we not around them anymore, it didn't work out, and we just happen to have a baby, is one reason why we angry, because they try to hold them against us. Not all, but most. Or the ones who actually try to raise their kids, most of the time, just deal with the fact that they move on with another woman who's willing to help him out with the kids, and their kids' mom do not want to see them with anybody else but them, and hate on that. And then if you try to better your life to move on without her, that ain't how it's supposed to be, regardless if she can move on or not.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of other black men do. Now, I just want to make this clear before anybody hop in here and try to jump on my head about anything. Not all black men take care of their kids.
No.
But not all black women take care of their kids either.
Oh my gosh, and the kids be there with them. Whether it's an absent father or it's a present mother.
Right.
And I mean physically, you know what I'm saying? If she's physically present.
Now, that passion,
not properly taking care of the kids.
That passion, that again comes back to when you ask why a black man's angry, is because he knows he's trying to do the best that he can and knows that his child's mom may not be taking care of him, or he may just give up on the world, and he's angry because every little thing that he do, he can't do nothing because he's paying child support all the time and can't make the money to do that what he wants to do. So that's the other side of it. And that's a majority of it. It don't get talked about because they feel like it's personal, don't want to open up about it. But I mean, if we're going to be open and honest, I've been there, done that.
Straight up, man.
Single black man, you know, raised him on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing against his mom, but just things happened to where I was put in a situation to raise him.
Right.
And one thing that I'll never do is be disrespectful towards her because she had her own things that was going on. But as a black man, I chose to step up because I wanted to make sure. I prayed 9 months for a boy. I couldn't do a girl. I already knew I was gonna pay child support if I had a girl. But regardless, I know I could raise a kid. I'm just saying. Right. I know what it's like to pay child support while my son's living with me. Work 2 jobs. Yeah. Bust my tail. I've been laid off twice while he was a kid. I've been there down and out to where I've had to live with my parents longer than what I wanted to. Right. I've been there to where I didn't have diapers. Formula was too much. I'm trying to figure out bus schedules to get him in and out. You know what I'm saying? I've been there and done that. But at the end of the day, I don't use that as, oh, I'm tough because I've been through all that. I use it as motivation because I don't want him to go through the same thing that I did. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we have to uplift all of our brothers that's struggling with maybe every now and then, all right, I'm going to buy you some groceries, bro, because I know you're struggling. I'm going to slide you some money for gas money so you can get to work, keep doing your thing. That's part of the way that you can deprogram that tough mentality. Because if we're humble with each other and we're open with each other, we know the struggle. Now, we may not have that same kind of love towards other people, but it's better to start with our own people and let it spread to everybody else than to just block off everybody else and just be angry. So I feel like, in my opinion, it's a choice if you want to decide to be angry or not as a black man. Peace is always staring you in the face. Peace is always staring you in the face. You either just going to choose to roll with the peace, or you just going to choose to be angry until you get humbled to choose peace. Because peace is going to come regardless. You're either going to choose to have it early, or you're going to be at peace when you're not living anymore. It's just up to you.
Man, I love that statement. I love how you explain that. My whole thing is we're already looked at as angry when we're not angry a lot of times. And on the other hand, we're angry, but our anger is misunderstood. Like where the anger is coming from. So we're looked at as ticking time bombs. And I want that to change. I want the fathers, the big brothers, the uncles. Like I hate the fact that there's no OGs. Yeah. For this newer generation, they don't have OGs. They govern themselves. Yeah. And we talked about how that's our fault. That's the millennials' fault that Gen Z don't have OGs. We stopped doing everything and we stopped teaching them. First off, we did it and just handed it to them. Right. You know what I'm saying? We did the work and handed it to them. Whereas our parents, they did it, then they showed us how to do it. And then now we've learned how to do it. But why did we stop showing them? For me, I think that is really where the divide began to really become bigger. The gap for the generation now, the newer generation, Gen Z, to us really just, like the Red Sea just split. And they're angry all the time. And like they're really angry to the point where they're depressed about the opportunities that they're lacking, or that it's a lot of pressure that they've put on themselves, right? You know, they're showcased Instagram famous and TikTok fame and YouTube fame all the time.
And then see that these influencers are getting paid by those same people to say, if you jump on here 24/7, you can make this amount of money.
And once again, they catch it when they're already there.
Right.
It's like, dang, I want to be just like such and such. Right. Man, he got 3 million followers. He get paid. I heard he get paid like $10,000 each time he posts something. Right. You know, if it's a sponsored post, he gets picked up to, or he gets booked to go and do some appearances at certain places, you know, and just to go and do this dance, or just to go and model, or now he's getting ready to be in a movie. Man, that's what I want. I want that. You see it after they've made it. Now, of course, you need an example before you come up with a plan, right? They're not being taught the plans again. That's all I'm saying is they're not being taught the plan, and they get upset because someone said no. They're angry because someone said no. It's not going to be that easy. You got to deal with adversity. I'm going to go ahead and say Gen Z is not a tough generation either way. They're not aggressive. They're not hard. Just because you got a pistol doesn't make you tough. And they don't know how to deal with adversity. So either definition, either side of the fence, they're neither one of those. And it's very confusing for them. And that's why it's harder for us to be able to embrace them while they're dealing with this, because you know, man, we don't want to be around a bunch of depressed people or a bunch of people dealing with anxiety and a bunch of blah, 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 blah. Although we deal with it, and we know better, and now we're becoming more open to go seeking help. But man, I'm not finna walk around here being angry, and then I'm sitting here watching my little bro or the little homie or you know, the nephews or whatever. You're not finna walk around being angry, period. Because it's your anger that's going to set you back. Your anger is going to keep that door closed, and it's going to keep that door locked when the lock is inside. Man, you got to let it go, period. You got to grow up from that. We got to stop, brother. We got to stop holding all this information and all this wisdom and all these gems and all this good knowledge from them, and only sharing it with just each other, or sharing it just with the homies that are our age. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we discovered something, but man, there's a whole generation that they're struggling, and they have no guidance. They have no OG. And we got to step up and be the OG that's supposed to be in place. Oh man, they ain't going to listen, man. They ain't, you know, and half of them, you know, man. When did we stop trying? Now I see it feels like we got fear amongst us.
Well, the anxiety does come from us exposing ourselves to looking like we're soft. And there's nothing wrong with admitting any faults that you have with yourself, but that can't be perceived as soft, and we got to quit telling each other that you soft or that you weak,
right,
for doing that. The other thing is, you got to be willing on the other side, because we talk about the pressure on us. For those who are seeking the help, you got to be able to accept the help.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't allow us to put all this energy into you, and you're not reciprocating it to be energy itself. Because what turns around is you get angry at us because we look at you as being toxic. You only come around when you just want something, and we ain't gonna keep fooling with you. That's another trigger for anger. is because we look at other black men as toxic, even though we don't say it. We just say, I ain't fooling with him. Every time he come around, he just wants something. He don't never apply himself. He don't never do this and do that. When that on the other side, you don't necessarily say you come out and you need help. Yeah. You just always around, just happen to be, mooching off somebody or just trying to get scraps off somebody, whatever somebody's doing.
Right.
You got to still put in the work yourself. So don't just ask for help. Make sure that you have the will to be wanting to change also.
But some people aren't asking for the help. They don't know how to ask.
Right.
They don't, like, once again, we're taught to keep everything in house growing up. Nah, if you dealing with an issue, that stays in here. I better not hear one of your teachers say anything about you, feeling down or feeling depressed or anything like that. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus, and we're gonna go see the pastor tomorrow. It's a real thing.
It is.
We're dealing with a level of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, I'm not saying, no, definitely rebuke depression in the name of Jesus, because that wasn't something that was given to us. God didn't give us a spirit of depression or anxiety.
Not at all.
Now, once we have it, once we allow it to be a part of us and it overtakes us, we have to do something. Mm-hmm. I got to go seek a professional. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I got to go seek help. We got to learn how to do it. We can't be too prideful, man. I'm telling you, man, I have to do a better job of practicing what I preach.
We do.
When it comes to.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. It ain't just you, bro. Mm-hmm. But we do. And that's another thing that can be part of the reason why that we're angry too.
Yeah.
It's because we see people either get killed or we see people out in the streets homeless and everything. And then me and you specifically get mad at ourselves. He's like, dang, I could have done something. I could have been doing this. I need to do better and everything. A lot of times, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, people just choose to do that because they want stuff given to them. But yes, we do need to do better, but we can't force it upon ourselves to try to change the whole world. Yeah. We just got to do it one step at a time, one person at a time. And it's always, I ain't going to say it's always easier. Most of the time, it's easier to start with the kids than it is adults. Mm. And we are big advocates for loving the kids and making sure the kids grow up right. But if at any time we, as in me and you, have to take the time to check up on people that are our age too, that are asking for help, and just being like, all right, bro, I'm going to hit you when I can.
Straight up.
Like, if we're going to hit them up, we need to take personal accountability of hitting our friends up, our brothers up, our fellow black men up, if we're going to say we're going to do that.
Absolutely. What I'm for is for there to be a place where we can actually say, I'm not feeling good, or I'm upset about this, I'm angry about this. And it actually be a place that's safe. Social media is not the safe place for us to say, hey, this is what I'm angry about. And I need, I need to know who else feels angry about what I'm angry about. And I'm talking about specifically
I feel you.
Like certain things, now there's one thing to, take a poll on social media. It's another thing when you are really feeling strongly hurt and down about something. And every time you feel that way, you run to social media thinking you're going to feel better. And it's never the case. You're always going to be failed, because man is always going to fail you every single time. So we got to be better about having these conversations with our peers and our kids, as well as our young brothers, Gen Z, them too. Reach one, teach one, and we got to try. It's like we're afraid to try because all the stuff they're dealing with, no one's telling them to stop. No one's telling them, hey, this is stupid, this is dumb. We're all just talking to each other saying, nah, man, like, I don't fool with them, man. I don't fool with them kids, bro. These kids is crazy these days. You know what's funny? Our parents used to say the same stuff, or our, the older folks, they used to say the same stuff about us. Right. Man, these kids is wild now, man. These kids is doing this, they doing that. He said a curse word. I'm like, no, you guys understand. These kids are cursing teachers out in different languages.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like they're nuts. But who's showing them? And the parents are allowing this stuff to happen.
Right.
That's what's killing me. The parents are not nipping this in the bud. Mm-hmm. You know why? Okay. Statistically, the women are raising our kids by themselves. Mm-hmm. Statistically, they're raising our kids by themselves. Where are they statistically raising our kids? They're not raising them, not all of them. They're not raising them in a place like Bel Air, Kansas. Right. They're not raising them in Andover or Mays or Augusta or, Goddard. Mm-hmm. They're raising them in a certain area where all of their friends who may be 28, 29, 30 years old are still really 15 and 16-year-olds. Mentally, yeah. So they still talk to each other that way. Right. They talk to their children that way.
Right. And then they get cute and record.
You know what I'm saying? Cussing and doing this, that, and the third, and calling them all kind of MFs and Bs and whatever. To your boys, they're already getting that in public, in society. They already getting that from their peers. They're getting that. They're being torn down. Why do I come home and my aggressive mother, my angry mother, is doing the same thing everybody else is doing to me? So you know what I do? I grow this hard shell growing up. Mm-hmm. Pops ain't around. I got this hard shell on me. And you wonder why I'm angry all the time now. I'm angry because nobody will listen to me. Right. I'm angry because the one person I feel I can go to isn't there. Right. Father. The one person I need to go to isn't there to help coach me through this. And then the other person that's there, she don't know how to do it. Right. I don't know. I can't teach you how to be a man. I can't teach you how to handle things like a man. Mm-hmm. I can't. But I'm going to try. I'm going to do things the best that I can. Right. And I'm actually angry. Now, that would have to be a conversation with some ladies about, hey, black woman, why are you so angry? It's a whole nother conversation. But as far as the young black men, that right there is why our boys, our young boys, feel like they have to overcompensate for, there's a lot. Nah, that's a whole nother conversation. Let me keep it real for us black men, us black boys, the black boys. There's a lack of femininity in the house. Let's talk about that. There's a lack of femininity, a lack of emotion. There's a lack of softness that's in the house that actually needs to be there. Growing up, there's typically, you got good cop, bad cop parent. You got father who comes in, who's the bad cop, whatever.
Disciplinarian.
The disciplinarian. There you go. He's the one that has to crack the whip to make sure you understand, son, like, I got to get to you before society does. Right. And they program you a certain way.
For sure.
I got to get you right.
Yeah.
And then the mother comes in. It's like, listen, all right, son, it's okay. Let me explain to you. If you don't understand what your father's saying, let me explain to you how this is supposed to be. Right. She comes in with a little softer. She's the fragrance of the home. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now, I'm not saying every woman is going to be that way. But we are genetically programmed a different way. Like, we're genetically built a different way. And that, where did that go wrong? Where did the mothers, well, that I already know the answer, and that's so deep. It's going to go back to the Willie Lynch letter, and it's going to go back to black men being, the black slave men being disciplined in front of their families and then taken away from the family, and now she's left with 3 kids of her own and she got to raise them. And then moving forward, now we got WIC and we got Vision and we got all this stuff, welfare, and you can't have a man in the house, and it goes deep. It goes really deep to where the root is. But we as black men have to step up. We have to stop keeping ourselves away from our boys. We have to stop not being present for our boys and our young girls, but definitely, for sure, obviously, our young boys, we have to not make the choice. Oh, your mama is blah, 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 blah. Okay, yes. I still need you here, though. You still have to be around. I still need you here to show me what it means to be a level-headed, loving, strong, tough in the way that I'm supposed, as far as dealing with adversity, black man, black boy, but black man. I need that example. And if you can't show me that, point me in the right direction. Can my uncle show me? Right. You know, maybe there's another man that steps up and shows me. But we have to be able to step up and be that for our young black boys. There's no reason for us to walk around angry. If we got to go get help. And if you're listening to this now, or if you're watching this now, I'm saying if you're angry about something, family, your wife or your kids or your job, or maybe you've just been angry your whole life, you need to go get help. You need to sit down with somebody, and you need a professional, and you need to unpack all your feelings. Stop trying to not feel and have everything bottled up, and then you explode, and now you go to jail because you didn't kill somebody or because you didn't did something. You just
so
get this together.
So what I'm gonna say is a couple things. Number one, for the angry black man, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to where you can't function yourself. Number one. Again, life is only as hard as you make it. You got to make sure you straight first. Yes. You try to teach somebody else something.
This is true. I agree.
Second thing you got to do, you got to quit being selfish.
Man.
You got to quit being selfish like you deserve everything. You still need this. You still that, especially if you're a father. Your time has come and gone. You decided to have the kids. It is what it is. Whether you say, I didn't want to have kids with her and everything, you laid down with her. You decided to do what you did.
Make your bed.
Yeah, exactly. So quit putting too much pressure on yourself. Quit being selfish. And the last thing is, it's okay to tell somebody, one, that you need help.
Yeah.
Two, that you love them. Mm-hmm. And three, it's okay to let your kids know. It's okay to show your kids love. In public, in front of everybody, all that. It's okay to take pictures with the kids. It's okay to upload pictures of you kissing all over your kids and everything. It's okay to do that.
That's okay. You are not any less of a man because you show compassion and the love that these kids need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the other thing is, discipline is always a sign of love, regardless if your kids accept it or anybody else accepts it or not. Because if you didn't want to discipline somebody, you wouldn't care in the first place. Discipline is just a tough love that is given so that we can do better. And it took a long time for me to understand that discipline is a sign of love because it always came in such a negative format.
Yeah.
As far as a stern voice.
Yeah. They appear to be angry.
Vocabulary that was used. But at the end of the day, when you give that discipline, the positive reinforcement's got to be added at the end.
Right.
So I'm disappointed in you, and I know you can do better.
There you go. It's a disappointment.
You know what I'm saying?
Not anger, it's disappointment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's discipline, though.
Yeah.
You got to be disciplined with yourself to be willing to discipline somebody else, to tell them, as far as kids or anybody else, that out of love, I'm disappointed in you, but I don't hate you. Had a conversation with Ramon. Ramon said, I'm sorry that you hate me because we had a difference and a reason why I felt like he needed to come home and read a book and give me 5 sentences every night. He thought it was punishment. I told him it's for his own good, so that way he doesn't struggle in school, just to keep him a little extra sharp. Because all you're going to do is what? Watch YouTube or get on the game or do something that makes you feel good. You know, I just feel like you need to be challenged more because I know how smart you are. But after we had that conversation, he was like, well, I'm sorry that you hate me because I said I don't like doing all this extra stuff. And he said some other things that was way out of line. The old me would have just popped him in the mouth, told him to go to bed. But the new me that's right now, I'm going to pop him in the mouth verbally. Not physically, but verbally.
Yeah.
But then come back with reinforcement like, hey, everything you said, I understand what's going on with you. You're frustrated and you're upset. You had all A's last year. Now you got B's and C's this year. I don't like the C's, but the B's is okay. But I know you can do better because most of your B's is close enough to being A's. But that's the strictness that I have on you. But because I'm strict doesn't mean I don't love you.
Right.
And because I'm giving you this discipline right now doesn't mean I don't love you. I'm never not going to hate you. I'm just not going to let you fail. And whatever.
Correction. You're never going to hate him.
Yeah, I'm never going to hate him.
Yeah. You said never not going to.
Oh yeah, my bad. Well,
Yeah,
I'm not going to hate you as my son because you are my blood. That's like hating myself.
There you go.
I'm not going to hate something that I created.
Right.
That's goofy.
Yeah. That's super goofy.
But the other thing I'm not going to do is if you're a piece of me and I'm a successful black man, you need to be put in the same prime position to be a successful black boy to grow into a successful black man yourself.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's the first example for you,
right,
as a black man,
sure.
being able to show him how to handle things as a black boy or just as a child,
right,
as a man. You're able to do that without anger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
There is a stern voice, but there's no anger behind it.
And that's good. I'm glad that there's no anger behind it. Right. And it's not, my father didn't do that either. Now, my father raised his voice. I mean, the neighbor's kids tightened up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He was just talking to us. But it was out of love. It was because, hey, I know you were raised better. This wouldn't cut it in my own house when I was a kid. You know, this wouldn't cut it in your mama's house when she was a kid. It absolutely is not going to cut it now. Y'all know better. Get this house clean. We got a joke.
Look, yeah, I was just about to say I got a joke.
There's this thing that me and my siblings do with my dad. Or we always got jokes about my dad, but my dad, in our old house in Corona, so it was a nice house. So you walk in, to the second floor, there was a whole balcony that you could see down into the living room. And if the house was dirty when he came home, like too many times or something like that, like the kitchen was whatever, bedrooms, he'd come home and he'd walk across that balcony just screaming, just yelling it at everyone in the house, you know what I'm saying? While my mom is just, you know, she in the bedroom or she downstairs watching TV, whatever. He $3,000 motherfucking I spent on this house every month. And that was the mortgage. That wasn't the rest of the bills. Yeah. $3,000 on the mortgage.
That's crazy.
You know, I'm like, oh yeah, you got every right to be upset, but we laugh and joke about it. And like, no, I expect better from y'all. I absolutely expect better. I just got home. I'm still wearing my shirt and tie. I busted my butt at work today. I got there early and I'm here now. And I'm like, this house, are y'all serious? Me, my siblings, my cousins, if they live with us?
Bro, you know.
Are y'all serious?
You know what the other joke is I was about to say?
What's that?
When everybody's showing out in the house and the one word every black man do. Hey! Oh, man. What? And then it'd be that slight pause.
It gets so quiet in the house when that happens.
Hey, bro, listen.
You can hear a fly fart when it get that quiet.
I can have one kid. I can have 5 kids. If I yell that, it's silent. Because they already know if I got to get up, it's going down.
Yeah. Straight up.
It's going down.
But see, that's how men watch kids anyway. You watch them from the couch.
Absolutely.
And you just hear. You just, like Kevin said, you just listen for stuff.
But that's not an angry black man either.
No.
That ain't an angry black man either. But that's the joke that I had. Because I do that all the time with Ramon. Man, I'm talking about, my door be closed. His door be closed. He got YouTube on 1,000. And he can still hear me Aye!
Yeah, that's treacherous.
And then you know what I hear in the background? Yes, Daddy. Be like, yeah, all right. I'm glad you heard me, because if I had to get up, it's going down. But anyway.
Yeah, no, you're right, man.
It's cool.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to say this.
What's up?
I know it's, hey, black man, why are you angry? But at the end of the day, I'm not an angry black man. I'm just a passionate black father.
Here we go.
And at the end of the day, being a passionate black father is going to have its ups and downs.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my voice at times. And my chest might get swollen, my nostrils like fair, but I'm not an angry black man. I'm just a passionate black father on my end.
Right.
How about you, bro?
Well, I don't get angry too often. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't. It takes a lot. I am not an angry black man. I am a determined husband, a determined filmmaker. I'm a determined Christian. I'm a determined man who sees the vision, could do better at just writing the vision so it's clear, making it plain. But I see the vision, and I'm not gonna stop for anything to get to it.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
And if you here to help, be here to help. If you here to watch,
take notes.
Period. Take notes. But if you're here to get in the way, I'm just saying, like, I'm not angry, but you got to go.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not an angry black man, but I'm a determined black man. Straight up.
For sure.
So, love you, bro.
Hey, it's always love. Real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boy Hob.
Oh man, today is the 20th.
It's the 23rd. Lost my dog to senseless violence, but I used to blame the way that I act now because I lost him, and a lot of it was by choice. And I'm proud to say that today I was able to open up and express myself as a black man, to say that I was depressed and had anxiety over it for years. But today's the first time on the anniversary that I've actually functioned as a normal black man the way I'm supposed to. So not only am I proud of myself, but I just want to encourage anybody else. It's okay to admit. It's okay to admit that you're going through things, but just make sure that you bounce back. And the key is, you don't always have to have somebody to help you bounce back. Take that tough mentality and just bounce back like you always have been.
I have yet to comment. I've spoken to you about this before.
For sure.
I have yet to comment on social media about how I feel or anything about Aaron Hobson's death. I'm gonna take that time real quick to really speak my piece, because since that day, it's like I've just gone mute and allowed everything to just sit either on my heart or in my head. Last conversation I had with Aaron, he told me he was getting ready to go to Prairie View. I remember this conversation like yesterday. He was in the car with his dad. He was like, bro, like, no, yeah, I'm getting ready to go back to school. You know, at that time, I mean, I can say it now. He said he was getting ready to pledge, you know, Omega Psi Phi. We were going to be frat brothers. But that was the last time we spoke. And since that night happened, I woke up. I was up too. That's the thing. I was up when it had occurred. You know, it was in Columbia, Missouri. But I woke up and someone called me and was like, "Hey man, if you need anything, you know, you just let me know." And I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, you ain't heard? Aaron got killed last night." I'm like, "What? What?
Aaron who? That was my first.
I already knew. Like, I didn't ask no questions. I just knew that's who she was talking about.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say her name or anything,
No, it's
but
cool.
what I did was I got up and I came to your house.
Mm-hmm.
First thing we did was just hug. That was it. But I just never responded. I never said anything, and I never got to like speak. And like Aaron was truly a brother, a best friend,
Sure.
a confidant. He only wanted to see the best.
Always.
They only wanted to see the best out of everyone.
Live your life to the fullest.
Period. And he was an example of that, right? And I hate that I didn't get to say goodbye. None of us did. I hate that I wasn't there for him. I hate that I wasn't, I hate that I wish that I would have known that he was even going there. But then again, I don't know. I couldn't save him.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say goodbye, but he called me the night before, and he did say where he was going. But me and him was the first one to establish the reason why I tell everybody that I loved him.
Yeah.
And love them is because we told each other every time before we got off the phone that I love you.
Yeah.
And that was the first bond of where love came from.
Right.
Was with him. And so I just continue the legacy by continuing to spread the love.
Absolutely.
And that's the best way I can do it. But a lot of people don't understand why I always say love or always give love. But that's the reason why.
I appreciate it too.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate it. But I'm at peace now with not having my brother here anymore. Right. I'm at peace with, not being able to say goodbye. I'm at peace with, just how the whole situation took place. And, Aaron, man, I love you to life. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could see you again. I wish we could shake up one more time, hug you, embrace you. Sure. And I really wish that you were still here. And I would love to, I would really love to see you in heaven once it's all said and done for me, myself,
For sure.
When God calls me home. But you were my brother. You were my friend, a confidant, a motivator, a person who's resilient, who literally, like, when you left, you shook about 3 or 4 cities when you left. And you're the reason why I drove that black Monte Carlo, that 2006 black Monte Carlo for years, in remembrance to you. So I love you, bro, and I'm going to keep thriving. I'm going to keep doing it.
Got to. And I'm going to hold you accountable to it, too.
Please do.
For sure.
Please do. So, once again, brother, I love you, man.
All right, it's all love.
We're going to keep doing what we do.
For sure. Love.
I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. But I took a break, I had to leave.